Okay, this is McGraw-Hill Chapter 5, Section 4, Complex Fractions. All right, first of all, make sure you understand, this is example 1, page 448. It says 5x squared. It says 5x squared over y divided by 10x over y squared. This is a fraction divided by another fraction. So really we could take a complex fraction and write it like this: 5x squared over y divided by 10x over y squared. Now remember, we never divide fractions. We always take the front fraction and multiply by the reciprocal of the back fraction. So the same thing holds true here. So we take 5x squared over y, multiply it times y squared over 10x. That gives us 5 times y squared times x squared y squared over 10xy, and see the 5 over the 10 cancel, give me 1 over 2. I have 2 x's here and 1 x here, so it leaves me 1 x on top. I have 2 y's here and 1 y on the bottom, so it leaves me 1 y on the top. So my final answer is xy over 2. Remember, complex fractions are not complex. They're just a fraction divided by a fraction, and all we got to do is take the top fraction and multiply by the reciprocal of the bottom. Here's example 3, page 449. This is where we have an expression, a rational expression on top and bottom. So what we've got to do is change both of the rational expressions to single fractions on top. And then we come to the same situation we had in example 1. So first thing I do here is I take that 4 and I put it over 1. I can see that in order to combine these two fractions, I need to have an x on the bottom here. So that's what I do, is I multiply x over x times 4 over 1. In terms of this one, I need to multiply this 2 over x by x over x, so I have x squared on the bottom of both. So that's what I did here. When I multiply this, combine like terms, I get 4x minus 6 over x. Here I get 2x minus 3 over x squared. Here I can factor out a 2, so it gives me 2 times 2x minus 3 over x. That's what this right here is here with the top factored. I write the reciprocal of this, so the x squared goes on top, 2x minus 3 goes on the bottom. The 2x minus 3, 2x minus 3 become 1. The x here cancels out 1x here, and I get 2x over 1 or 2x. Here is example 4, page 450. This is with negative exponents. Remember, negative exponents we make positive by taking this and placing over 1 and then moving to the reciprocal. So x to the negative 1 really is 1 over x to the first. X to the negative 2 is really 1 over x squared. Same thing here. So that's what's happened here. I've changed this to 1 over x minus 1 over x squared. This here has become 1, and notice I write as a fraction, 2 over x minus 3 over x squared. Remember, the exponent only goes to the variable or number directly in front, not both. See, there's really a 1 here and a 1 here. So that negative 1 only goes to the x, negative 2 only goes to the x squared. So here I need to multiply this 1 over x by x over x to get x squared on both bottoms. Here I need to multiply this by x over x to get x squared on the bottom. Here I need to multiply this by x squared to get x squared on the bottom. When I finish this out and combine like terms, this top right here gives me x minus 1 over x squared. See, x minus 1 over x squared. The bottom gives me x squared, which is right there, plus 2x minus 3 over x squared. Now I got a fraction divided by a fraction, so I'm going to take the top fraction and multiply by the reciprocal of the bottom. So this x squared goes on top. I factor this x squared plus 2x minus 1 becomes x minus 1 over x plus 3. The x squares become 1. X minus 1 becomes 1. We get 1 over x plus 3. Last problem. Example 5, page 451. We have 1 over w plus 3 minus 1 over w minus 3. We have 1 over 1, and again, remember I've taken the whole number and made it a fraction, plus 9 over w squared minus 9. Now normally I would factor this and get w plus 3 times w minus 3. But I can see that maybe I'll wait to factor it to see what happens on top. So here, my least common denominator is w plus 3, w minus 3. So I need to multiply that fraction by w minus 3, w minus 3. I need to multiply this fraction by w plus 3, w plus 3. Here, I need w squared minus 9 on the bottom. So I multiply by w squared minus 9, top and bottom. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky, and you have to be careful when you're looking at this, because what happens is when I multiply this by 1, I get w minus 3. Remember, I got the minus here, so it's a minus 1 times w, which gives me minus w, and it's a minus 1 times plus 3, which gives me minus 3. Here, I get w squared minus 9 plus 9. The 9's cancel and gives me just w squared. So here the w's cancel and gives me minus 6. I get minus 6 over w squared minus 9. Multiplying times the reciprocal of the bottom, which is w squared minus 9 over w squared. W squared divided by w squared minus 9 divided by w squared minus 9 gives me 1. So I end up with minus 6 over w squared. I hope I didn't confuse you on that, but so I went ahead, because this became a minus 9 and a plus 9, I got rid of those, so I only had w squared left on the bottom. Here, like I said before, w minus 3 times 1 is w minus 3. Minus 1 times w is minus w. Minus 1 times 3 is minus 3. W minus w cancels out. We end up with minus 6 on the top.